Hello, what we're going to discuss on this video today is how to fit a convenient drain-off point to your central heating system. I always used to find that when I did any repair work on an existing heating system, I could never find the drain off to drain the thing off. It was usually fitted under the floorboards or somewhere where you couldn't find it, which was pretty pointless. Now of course you do need to fit the drain-off point at the lowest point in the system, but you also need to be able to get at it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit a drain-off point on one of your radiators, which is of course above floor level at quite a low point but convenient to use. So we're going to fit one of these, which is a combined radiator valve with drain-off point fitted to the end. They are very easy to fit. Now this radiator valve here is the same, exactly the same as this, except this one's got the drain-off point on the back. This one cost about just short of £5, which is pretty reasonable really. Now like I say, if you're going to fit it at the lowest point if you can, but bear in mind that you need to run a hose pipe. You push a hose pipe over that nozzle there and run it out your door or out your window or somewhere to where you can drain it out. You don't want a big long hose pipe trailing through your house or your office or whatever. So bear in mind, it's a good point is usually in the kitchen or the hallway, with that pointing towards the door. You drain it off very fast then. So the first thing we need to do is to take this valve off. So we've got two nuts. We've got the inlet nut at the bottom here and the union nut. So the first thing to do is slacken off. The bottom nut. Don't undo it completely, just slacken it off. Now they can be pretty tight, so get hold of the valve and just slacken it off like that. That's finger tight. The next thing to do is to undo the union nut in between. So get your rad wrench and your rad spanner, holding the radiator valve in a downward way, so you push it on like that and hold it down. And sometimes these can be really tight, so bear in mind these can be really tight, these nuts in between here, so you might need a hell of a lot of pressure. But it's also critical that you don't let the valve spin as you're undoing that, because it will tend to want to spin it and then you can cause damage to the pipe coming in here. So use the rad wrench on that and pull it up like so. And that's loosened it off now. Now the other thing I forgot to mention was this system has been drained, there's no water in it, so we can do it dry. Undo that, just take the nut back, the union nut back, disconnected, and undo the nut at the bottom there. Now another reason why I chose this valve is because the tailpiece, which is this piece here, is already inside the radiator off the old valve. Now in 9 times out of 10 cases you can use that on the new valve. Now how to check that will fit is take the tailpiece off the new valve and see if it fits on the old valve, which that one does absolutely perfectly. So we know that that one there, the tailpiece there, will fit onto the new valve, so there's no need to mess about with the connection in there. The other thing is we've got the nut and the olive on the bottom here already fixed, so we can take the nut and the olive off the new valve and just discard that. Now one other thing we need to do, because this is a union face nut, is just put some sealing compound, which is Boss White. Just put some on your finger there and just smear it around the inside of the face of the union like that. Just make sure it's all the way around. Not too much, don't drown it in it, you might block the valve. Just a little smearing around the edges there. Next thing to do is just drop that over the inlet and pull the nut back up and screw it finger tight onto the valve, to the bottom of the valve. That means you've got some swivel now, you can swivel it about. And then push the valve over to the union again and just screw the union nut back onto the valve. That's perfect. Now I believe in tightening these in stages, so the next thing to do is just tighten the nut at the bottom slightly. That just holds it, stops it spinning a little bit. Now we need to really tighten up the union nut here. So we're going to use the rad spanner and the rad wrench again. Just put it on like that. Hold it and pull. You can get some really good pressure on this. It's nice and tight. Just double check, just look down the side of the valve and make sure that the valve is directly in line with the pipe, which here it is. Now don't forget we've got this one at the bottom to tighten up again, so just put your spanner on, hold the valve and pull it round. Not too tight, don't overdo it, you cause no problems, just reasonably tight. That's now nice and tight. So you can see now you've got a nice drain-off point now ready for a hose pipe should you have any repairs in your system. All you do, like I say, you push your hose pipe over here and open that nozzle. The last thing on here is, depending which end of the radiator it was, if it was the control valve, like that one was, with the control head, you leave the control valve knob on it. If it was the lock shield, the end that you don't touch, you get a nice little cap which you just push over the end, over like that. So that's it, that's done. All you do now is fill up your system. If you've got a sealed system, go to your filling point on your boiler, fill it up 1.5 bar. If it's a vented system, a tank in the loft in other words, turn your water back on, reintroduce water, bleed the radiator, check it with a nice dry tissue, check all the joints around here, it's not leaking. Check it when it's hot and check it when it's cold. Leave it for 24 hours. Check it the next day about like I say, about 24 hours later. Just check there's no leaks and that's it. You've got it done. You've got a convenient drain-off point in your system. That's how you do it. Thanks for watching.